Nations like China, America rose through entrepreneurship. Every nation that you see today is leading. It has been built by entrepreneurship aspect. And therefore, we can be able to transform our Kenyans to think from homegrown entrepreneurs. I believe we can be able to achieve the change that we want and be able to solve a path and create a path to solve our problems. My name is Alfred Gitonga. Many people call me Snowline, and other my friends literally call me a Black Django. And now I have got a new name, Igati. So I'm married. Come from Kenya. I'm a Kenyan social entrepreneur and a lover and doer of the word of God. I'm born again Christian and I worship at Kironga Living Waters Church here in Meru Town, and I do my businesses around Meru, especially Meru Town and Timau area, and I travel around the country to sell my products. I want to introduce to you my new project that is called Igati. Igati is a mission that I feel is a way of giving back to the community and helping my community to come up with new ways of solving the problems and challenges they are facing. Igati, we have come together as young professionals from Meru County, and through the talent and the help of God, we are trying to help our community to solve problems we are facing. At such a time, since the outbreak of Corona, we have one challenges after another. Cost of living is going up, joblessness is increasing, lack of wealth, people are suffering and people are not happy. And God is not happy, because the intention of God to man is to live a happy and a prosperous life. Through his word, he has promised us so many a number of things, that whatever we shall pray to him, he shall give unto us, and that whatever we shall seek, we shall find. And we face a challenge throughout our social lives. For instance, here in Meru, we find we have faced a lot of cost of living is very high, and joblessness level is high, and people are complaining. The business environment is not good, and as much we are praying to God, and our government is doing a lot of effort to save the situation, we have felt it also upon ourselves as citizens to come together and try to help our government and to do what God expects us to do as patriotic people, so that we can be able to help our society overcome these challenges. At time, in generation, people have to come together and think out they can be able to solve their problems together. If you look at, instance, the time of independence when Kenya was colonized, our forefathers had to come together and fight for independence. And it is through that kind of patriotic spirit that today Kenya is an independent state. And if you look at the challenges that we are facing today, the issues to do with that joblessness, the do to do with the high cost of living, food security, these are very shameful things that we should be talking about at this age. Lack of basic things like food, that is very shameful for our country. And therefore it is upon ourselves as a nation to take this responsibility, not only expecting the government to do work or just bring to God, but to now start thinking otherwise on how to solve our problems. Igati is a Kimeru word that means salt. It was used in the ancient times by our forefathers as a source of salt. And therefore, us being a believer and doers of the word of God, we are being taught we are the salt of the earth. And therefore, Igati is the salt of the earth that is needed at such a time. And how are we going to do this? And or how are we doing it? Igati Mission, we start with where we are. In our villages in Gakoromone, in our villages in Timau, and allowed ourselves in Meru County here. We have started to organize ourselves into small groups of youth, women group, wazes, and everybody else. And as we do this, we are asking ourselves, what can we do? And we are finding ways we can be able to do together. And now as Igati, being an homegrown entrepreneur, and also supporting other homegrown entrepreneurs, we are saying, how can we entrepreneur ourselves from our homes? How can we entrepreneur ourselves from our small businesses that we do? And therefore, Igati comes to impact from where we are operating our businesses. People call me Snowline because I have a business that I operate in my home area in Timau. Also, they call me Black Jungle because I run a resort here in Merutown, which is called Black Jungle. So allowed Black Jungle, which is Gakoromona area, that is our first area of impact. Whereby this is a place that was known to be a dagare place, a place that people could not come at night, a place that people could not walk freely because of mugging. But now with the populations of Black Jungle Resort allowed Gakoromona area, we have improved the security in that area through rating, through now encouraging small-scale traders, and lately we are setting up a business incubation center at Sara Plaza, which will be able to run 24 hours, and this will attract more people to come to Gakoromone for late-night shopping. And as we do this, the issue of security will be getting addressed. That is a first impact we do. And also making now a vibrant business hub in the evenings. And as we create it as a business hub in the evening, small traders that we are training and coaching, they are coming up to set up their small businesses there. And out of that, we are creating jobs. Igati also is also visiting farmers around Meru County and finding out what can we do together with them. And in some areas we have found dairy goat farming as an ideal project that we can be able to undertake as Igati and the community. We have also seen herbs and spices as another area of exploit. We have looked into the areas of ecotourism together with our groups. We have also looked into areas of how we can be able to do kitchen gardening. There are a number of things that we are looking at ourselves on how we can be able to improve as Igati and our communities around Meru. And as we'll be doing this, we'll be able to impact other communities around other counties to be able to see what we are doing, and as they see what we are doing, they can duplicate also in their county. And as Igati being a worldwide mission, we'll be able to spread as far as God can be able to take us, so that we can be able to reach people with this knowledge, with this gift, with this talent of entrepreneurship. We believe entrepreneurship is the change the world has been waiting for. Because every society, every community rises or falls on the number of successes or failures of its entrepreneurs. We can make Kenya an entrepreneur society. Nations like China, America loves through entrepreneurship. Every nation that you see today is leading. It has been built by entrepreneurship aspect. And therefore, we can be able to transform our Kenyans to think from homegrown entrepreneurs. I believe we can be able to achieve the change that we want and be able to solve a path and create a path to solve our problems. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we start our Igati, I want us to see how we can be able to grow our homegrown enterprises. Because Igati has just started. We started from our house, from our neighborhood, and how we are infecting. So as Igati grows, you can learn from us how to grow businesses. Because Igati is a mission that desires to become a global NGOs. And as it becomes a global NGO, then you can learn that this is an NGO that started from Gakoromone. Just like in somewhere in Meru County, and it is growing to reach far and wide of people. You can be able to take it as also as these people are beginning their journey. I can also begin with them. I can also start my small business in my home. I can start with one dairy goat. I can start with a hive of herbs and spices farm. I can start with my kitchen garden. I can start with anything that God has put in my hands. And I start my journey. As the Igati grows, as they believe also their God is growing them, I also believe the same God will grow my own business. And as we also grow together, then we shall be making Kenya an entrepreneur society. We shall be thinking our homegrown solutions to our challenges. We don't have to wait for people to come and give us aid. We don't have to, there are no people that are going to industrialize and make the Kenya a great country that we envision in our national anthem. It is us as citizens. Let the government do its law, let the churches do its law, and let the people do what they're supposed to do. Wake up, change their mindset, and find out the things that are working around themselves. Let them work with those things that are working. And with that mentality, we'll be able to see solutions are just within. The resources that we are seeking are just within. And as we utilize these resources and pray to God and work hard, then definitely Kenya will start beginning a journey of revolution. And the revolution you are looking at now is not a political revolution, it's not a spiritual revolution, it's an economical revolution. An economical revolution will be achieved when we get out of majority of our people poverty, when we get a lot of our people on employment. How do we get people on employment? It is through homegrown entrepreneurs. Igati is something that I've always desired, because all my life I have been an entrepreneur. At the age of 13 years, when I was in primary school, I would sneak out of school, especially Mondays and Fridays, which were market days in Kakoromone market, just allowed me to town. And as I was doing that and trading in the Kakoromone market in late evening, so that I could be able to do, I was happy to trading in the market and making some coin, and to buy myself samosa and a bread in the evening. So as I was doing that, I would develop a lot of interest in trade, and when I was in class 6, my class teacher introduced me to business education subject, and when that subject was mentioned into my class, I felt this is what I really wanted. From that, I was drawn so much in business that in Form 1, I would sell stuff to my fellow Form 1 in high school, and this would see me drop out of boarding school to a day school, where I went to Genia Secondary in Laikipia. And as I was in Form 2 in that place, in the evening I would go and do some social apple in the marketplace. And as I was doing that, I grew more interest in business. So when I finished Form 4, I decided now not to get employed or seek any kibarua. I just need to create a job for myself after Form 4. It is from that moment when I was able to meet my basic needs, I employed my first employee. And I think from that was the year 1999, until now 2023, I've been an employer all through. There's no other time of my life I've never employed since the age of 19. So the desire to impact community and inspire my people to be job creators, to be self-employed, and not to be job seekers is one of the things that has led me to form Igati. I want to inspire people of my generation to be job creators. So as I start this journey, I drew a lot of inspiration from where I come from. Igati is a very new mission. It's just under a month old. Actually, it was registered on that March 2023, just as a single entity. We are still waiting for NGOs approvals and finishing of it. But it's a personal mission that God has put in my heart that I feel I should do, impacting the world, and is through inspiration of my story and the work of my hands. And I believe if anybody is keen to pay attention to the story of my life in entrepreneurship, will be drawn to get to employ himself. Because here is where you get a chance to be yourself. It's a chance to experiment with your ideas. And it's a chance to put your life in your hands. Because if you mess a bit, you are gone. But if you learn to do it well, then you have solutions to the world. Because entrepreneurs are the real problem solvers of the modern times challenges. And Igati comes at a time when Kenya and the world in general is facing a lot of challenges. We are facing a lot of challenges socially, economically, and I believe personally, entrepreneurship spirit, if well applied, can take us a long way to solving most of these problems. And what kind of entrepreneur I am, or what kind of entrepreneurship am I talking about? All these years, since 1999 up to date, personally I've been doing what we call entrepreneurship for individual, for myself. But as I'm doing them, I've been trying to impact my community in a small way. Now that I've done a lot of work about myself, because since that time I finished Form 4, I started Snowline. I started Snowline in the year 2000. Snowline, as we are talking, their name is sold as 24 years. Although it has done a lot of funny things when I opened a small grocery shop, I called it Snowland Food Market. When I opened a small computer lab, I called it Snowland Computers. When I was selling mobile phones accessories, I called it Snowland Marketing Express. When I did cosmetics, the year 2012, it was called Snowland Cosmetics. When I did porridge flours and wheat flour, I call it Snowland Foods. And when I did pottery, even my eggs and my chicks were called Snowline. And when I also did pork, it was Snowline Pork Farm. So everything I did was blooded Snowline. So it's something that I've loved, and my ideas were original because I could take a thought about it. Then when I came to entertainment and hospitality, that's the time I realized I'm more gifted than just in the spheres of manufacturing, distribution, trading. I can also be a good in entertainment. And I've created one of the best brands around Meru in clubbing, Black Jungle Resort and Spa. And you find that in there we have a lot of people. We did a good club that is unique in Meru Town, and people are enjoying it. And as we look at that, the impact we have done with our businesses is enormous. Because I can relate from the year 1999 when I started to employ until to date. The number of people that have passed through my hands are many. Through employment, I've employed more than 3,000 workers, I've lost the count. But now I've reached whereby I feel I've done much of my work. I don't need much too much. I've served in several board of schools as chairman. I've done all the businesses I wanted to do in life. I think I've reached the epitome of personal achievement, whereby this is what the things I wanted to do for myself. And I'm just left now to raise my family and just go to retire. But I'm retiring at a very young age. At 43, I should not be retiring. I think they say life begins at 40, so I'm 3 years old. So I think the remaining part of my life, that God gives me good life, I live up to 90. Maybe I work up to 80, 70, then I have a number of years to work. And therefore I want to dedicate the rest of my years into charity work. I want to work helping people and the communities around the world on how to entrepreneur themselves. I'm gifted in this area, and I know and I believe of God that whatever I will touch in my hands definitely will prosper, definitely to change the story. And it's evident in the work I've done. All the jobs that I've done, I've seen them succeed. And I'm happy to say it is God who helped me. And I know as we begin Igati now, God will help us to reach the destiny that we want. And as we reach our destiny as Igati, then we are not leaving our country behind. We are not leaving our people behind. We want to entrepreneur ourselves together with them. We want to reach other communities of the world. And that we are talking about Igati in Africa. Yes, but before we make it Igati Africa, we want to see Kenya as a shining star. We want to see our country to be a leading example in Africa in terms of entrepreneurship. And Kenya needs entrepreneurship seriously at this time. Because if we have to get anything from agriculture, we must completely innovate and create another agricultural perspective. We must. Most of our farms are idle. They are not productive. And you see, it is if we are able to translate our farms into businesses, kind of enterprise, when you're talking about homegrown entrepreneurs, we are talking about how can we make everybody at home productive. Here in Meru, our coffee sector is still growing. And during those times, it was very organized. Our tea sector is still not to the level we need to be. Actually, the world is at very advanced stage. The world is, we are very behind. So it is the time we really, if we wait upon the government alone to change things, it will take a long time. It will take a long time. So if we give the people the spirit of entrepreneurship and guide them and lead them and rally them and mobilize them and do campaign of entrepreneurship, as a social entrepreneur, then we create millions and millions of jobs. Millions and millions. We are going to change our economy within a record time. Because as we talk about these projects that we're envisioning as Igati, these projects are doable with the resources that we have. We just require a little mobilization, a little resources, yeah? And from what we have from our own businesses, small businesses, out the profit I'm making, the impact already we are doing. Like in Timau, I'm happy to say that we are starting a mint farming. And mint farming is something new there. And we have a team of experts on board Igati that knows how this is supposed to be done. And we are mobilizing resources together with farmers, small resources. We are in the process of raising 100,000 to buy seedling from another company in Naivasha. And then start. We have 10 farmers that we want to start with them there. We have already started dairy goat farming in Mwerankanga in Tigania. And as we do that, we have seen farmers there in Tigania have already acquired 20 dairy goats. They are willing, we have more coming on board. The business hub incubation center we have started at Sala Plaza. I've started to attract a number of entrepreneurs. We are teaching and coaching them how to grow their businesses. These people in the dairy goat, we are organizing them how they can be able to meet the ever demand for goat milk, which is a demand worldwide. By the time we finish meeting the local demand at the village level, to the urban centers, to the local market in the country, and to export, I think by then we shall have created a lot of employment. And also given that sector of dairy goods another view that's a good source of income, like any other, a good source of cash crop, and also a source of food security. Because goat milk is very essential. It has more benefit comparative to cow milk or other milk that we have in the market. And you see, it is easy to bring up the goat. There are benefits of that. We discuss each project at its own. But as we talk now, we want people to understand what is Igati, to get what are we doing and how they can join us, how they can be able to transform our spirit into that of now not waiting the government to do things, not waiting only upon God, but also as human beings, we can work hard and change our mindset and deliver more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board the Igati Mission. We are beginning and the journey is long. As we grow, let us grow together. Thank you so much.